thought by some to describe the collapse of the Old Kingdom and the beginning of the Dark Age, known to historians as the First Intermediate Period. It had been claimed that archaeological evidence from Syrian button seals supported this interpretation. The admonitions may not be a discussion with a king at all, however. Otto was the first to suggest that the discussion was not between a pure and his king, but that this was a discussion between a pure and a deity. Fecht showed through philological interpretation and revision of the relevant passages that this is indeed a discussion with a deity. Modern research suggests that the papyrus dates to the much later 13th dynasty, with part of the papyrus now thought to date to the time of Pharaoh Kheti, and the admonitions of Epur actually being addressed to the god Adam, not a mortal king. The admonitions are thought to hearken back to the First Intermediate Period and record a decline in international relations and a general impoverishment in Egypt. The complex consists of Pepi's pyramid with its adjacent mortuary temple. The pyramid contained a core made of limestone and clay mortar. The pyramid was encased in white limestone. An interesting feature is that after the north chapel and the wall was completed, the builders tore down these structures and enlarged the base of the pyramid. A band of brickwork reaching to the height of the perimeter wall was then added to the pyramid. The purpose of this band is not known. It has been suggested that the builders wanted the structure to resemble the hieroglyph for pyramid, or that possibly the builders wanted to fortify the base of the structure due to an earthquake. The burial chamber had a gabled ceiling covered by painted stars. Two of the walls consisted of large granite slabs. The sarcophagus was made of black granite and inscribed with the king's name and titles. A canopic chest was sunk in the floor to the northwest of the pyramid of Pepi II. The pyramids of his consorts Neith and Ipit were built. The pyramid of Ajeton is located to the south of Pepi's pyramid. The queen's pyramids each had their own chapel, temple, and a satellite pyramid. Neith's pyramid was the largest and may have been the first to be built. The pyramids of the queens contained pyramid texts. The mortuary temple adjacent to the pyramid was decorated with scenes showing the king spearing a hippopotamus and thus triumphing over chaos. Other scenes include the St festival, a festival of the god Min, and scenes showing Pepi executing a Libyan chieftain, who is accompanied by his wife and son. The scene with the Libyan chief is a copy from Sahir's temple. A courtyard was surrounded by 18 pillars which were decorated with scenes of the king in the presence of gods. Despite the longevity of Pepi II, his pyramid was no larger than those of his predecessors at 150 cubits, 78.5 meters, 258 feet per side at the base, and 100 cubits, 52.5 meters, 172 feet high, and followed what had become the standard format. The pyramid was made from small local stones and infill, covered with a veneer of limestone. The limestone was removed and the core has slumped. The causeway was approximately 400 meters, 1,300 feet long, and the valley temple was on the shores of a lake, long since gone. The site is located at 2,950 to 5 and 31 1249 excavation. The complex was first investigated by John Shea Puring, but it was Gaston Maspero who first entered the pyramid in 1881. Gustave Jequire was the first to investigate the complex in detail between 1926 and 1936. Jequire was the first excavator to start actually finding any remains from the tomb reliefs, and he was the first to publish a thorough excavation report on the complex. A statue, which is now in the Brooklyn Museum, depicts Queen Ankensmarir II with her son Pepi II. On her lap, Pepi II wears the Roy. He is shown at a much smaller scale than his mother. This difference in size is atypical because the king is usually shown larger than others. The difference in size may refer to the time period when his mother served as a regent. Alternatively, the statue may depict Ankensmarir II as the Divine Mother. Another statue of Pepi II is now in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo G50616. The king is shown as a naked child. The depiction of the king at such a young age may refer to the age he came to the throne. There are few official contemporary records or inscriptions of Pepi's immediate successors, according to Manetho and the Turin King list. He was succeeded by his son mariner Mnefertiti II, who reigned for just over a year. It is then believed that he was in turn succeeded by the obscure pharaoh Nefertiti II, though according to popular tradition, as recorded by Manetho to millennia later, he was succeeded by Queen Nefertiti, who would be the first female ruler of Egypt. This was the end of the Old Kingdom of Egypt, a prelude to the roughly 200-year span of Egyptian history, known as the First Intermediate Period.